for. Gareth nodded. Together they climbed the moss-covered stone stairway that led to the mines. Bits of rock and splintered wood covered the dirt floor, making it difficult for them to walk, but they picked their way through the rubble and after nearly an hour came to a wrought iron ladder piercing a dark hole in the ceiling. The rungs were rusty and metal splinters ripped at their hands and snagged their clothes as though trying to deny them egress from the mines as they climbed upwards. The ladder ended up in a small wooden hallway, thick with dust and decorated with silky strands of spiderweb. A door at the end of the hall opened, after some effort, into a huge room stuffed with books. Well, that was easy, we're here. I thought we'd be down there for bloody ages. Right, they had been heard. Assembled in the book-lined passage were 6 priests, all keenly interested in the arrival of the 2 strangers. From amidst them a broad-shouldered priest stepped forward. Your presence may explain a great deal, a priest said, stabbing a finger in their direction. We have been unable to leave the vault since this morning, and we found the door is bolted from the other side, and since I find it unlikely that our brother priests of Issap have chosen to starve us to death. It's not like that at all, Owen replied, waving his hands. We ran into your brother Mark when we were coming up the road. He said that one of your brethren has fallen ill with a Quegian fever, and somehow his condition is linked to the passages being blocked. The mystic defences, one of the priests offered. It is possible his delusions may have triggered them. Quickly a debate ensued between the robed priests, finishing at last with several brethren scurrying off to the shelves assigned for their examination. With a stern look, the angered priest also pointed to a shelf and directed that Owen and Gorath look for anything that mentioned the mystic defences of Sarth or outbreaks of Quegian fever. Coffee. Hours passed. His eyes aching from reading the nearly illegible handwriting of ancient scribes, Owen leaned his head back against the ancient shelving. I have no idea what we're looking for, Gareth. I've run across half a dozen references to this abbey, but then I discover it has something to do with experiments with peas or an account of a new system of organising these books. A sound drew their attention. At the end of the book-strewn passageway in which they sat, a priest eyed the disorganisation with distress. Why are you still down here? Still looking for the answer, Owen said. Vaguely he gestured at the half-dozen open books around him. Haven't found it. Biting his lip. The priest seemed pensive about continuing. Well, I'm afraid we solved that problem about an hour ago. Brother Dominic is doing a bit better now. We were wondering where you two had gotten to. Angered, Owen slammed shut the cover of the book which he held in his lap, a translation of Dorcas's treatise on the animation of objects. Likewise, next to him, Gareth stuffed away a wormy-looking book on history. Keep it, the priest insisted before Owen could put away the magical treatise. Dorcas is popular here. We have other copies cross-indexed in the library. I was also instructed that once I found you, I was to reward you with these. Offering a pouch, the priest handed them 3 nearly perfect emeralds. They are yours in appreciation for all you have done here. It is a small gesture, but I hope a useful one. Please feel free to continue to scan our library if it pleases you. Ah, that's very nice. A supernatural silence reigned in the vaults under Sarth, a perfect stillness which was unbroken even when a priest would accidentally let fall a book while searching the shelves, or when someone would sneeze while opening a dusty volume. It was as if time itself had been frozen here, trapped between the wooden cases like pages within a book. Owen scowled. The books arrayed before him brought all concerned theories of finance, a subject which his father had long ago exhaustively bored him with. While he thought he would never again be interested in the subject, he found himself reaching for one of the volumes. A pitiful remnant of what was once a wonderfully scribed book. Numerous pages appeared to have been ripped out whole, leaving only the ragged remains at the edges. Disheartened, Owen glanced quickly at what was now the top page before closing and returning it to the shelf. Many make the mistake of believing that a general goods store will offer the best prices on jewels. In practice, it is by far better to sell to a store which has emeralds, diamonds and rubies on display. Okay, what's over here then? The shelves were overburdened. Massive books which all appeared to be older than anything Owen could imagine. Most of the works in the section appeared to be concerned with theology or philosophy. Not as well versed in the history of the gods as he would like, he reached for the less intimidating-looking volume and began to read. Oh, do I have to read all of this? After an expansive description of Kahuli, the god of revenge, and how he was often misperceived by most of the common folk of the kingdom, the book made brief mention of a series of penances required of the faithful, including an odd practice known as mortification, in which they starved themselves to make themselves worthy to this temple. It also listed the fact that the most frequent petitioners into the temple were assassins. Right, okay, so we've done there. Oh, we haven't looked in that little corner. dry throat after reading all that. The books concerned magic. Searching the closest volume at hand, Owen began scanning the pages, hoping to find a book of spells. I don't know. I've never seen that word before. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's just made up. They just made up a word and popped it in there for the hell of it. From which you could learn. Flipping pages, he was nearly oblivious of the priest who marched down. Look, I've heard of oblivious before, but I've not heard of bloody of the priest who marched down the aisle and snatched the volume from his hands, politely replacing it from where it had come. These books are restricted, the police says. The priest said sternly. Long ago, we learned the wisdom of making sure an initiate has some training before embarking on reading our magical themes. I've had some training, Owen began, but was silenced by a look from the priest. You are more than welcome to visit our other collections, but this is restricted. The priest said, his tone indicative that he would tolerate no argument. I'm sorry. Right, so we've looked there. I believe we looked there. I'm not sure we've looked there. Oh, finance. Yeah. Oh, right, we've got something new, right, something new to read. A very new looking book. Owen had selected something titled Strategies of Trading Volume 2. Hopefully this is improving our skills, by the way. Just below the title you noticed a special note which had been glued to the face of the tome. Rare. Flipping through the pages, tables and charts of numbers confronted him, most of which he supposed would take him weeks to understand. Time he didn't have to waste. In the centre of the book, however, he did manage to find something of use. At the suggestion of a colleague, I've decided to include here examples of the finest shops in the kingdom, examples which illustrate my point rather elegantly, that good attention to finances will allow the shopkeeper to offer the lowest prices without sacrificing significant profit and ensuring a reliable returning clientele. Darby's fanciful trinkets. Alright, so that's a list of shops. We've been there, I remember the mercantile. Anyway, yeah, I'm not that bothered. Well, we just, wherever you go, they never bloody buy what you've got anyway. Right, is that something different to look at down there? Owen pulled down a book. A text of interest, Gareth asked, looking over his shoulder. Owen tapped the words on the spine. It's a journal written by Pug, titled Regarding Theories of Transspatial Gateways Proposed by Macross. Do you believe this is the book which we seek? Responding only with a shrug, Owen began to leaf through the pages, discovering immediately the majority of it was a technical document. Yes, I know you've come in. Yes. It was a technical document. Go and answer the phone next time it rings. That's the cat I'm talking to, by the way. Filled with diagrams and columns of numbers with notations off to the side in a curious shorthand. Whatever the book contained was far more advanced than any of the things he had read on magic thus far. He might as well be writing in Keshian, Owen said, shaking his head. While searching for an index, he discovered a small addendum which related a few of his conversations with the Macross. This is interesting. Something to help us find Pug? Gareth questioned. No, but something that might lead us to someone who might know something about this book of Macross, Owen replied with excitement. It says here that someone named Thomas Megason of Elvendar once travelled with he and Macross. Perhaps this Thomas fellow would know something about Macross or his book. Smiling grimly, Gareth's eyes held a dark humour. You intend that we should enter Elvendar? They will not be well pleased to see the likes of me. Why is that? Owen asked, putting the book back on the shelf. The kin of Queen Aglarana and those of my blood are enemies of old. None enter Elvendar itself save those sworn to her or are considered the most intimate of friends, he said. It will not be an easy journey. Chuckling, Owen patted Gareth on the back. After the past few months, I can't imagine this trip being all that difficult. Besides, we'll be back close to where we went, near Lamut. I believe there may be a way through to Elvendar near there. Certainly there is a way through to Elvendar near there, and it's back in the Mac Mordain Cadal, which was the very first set of... No, we're back here now. We're going to the temple. Oh, sure, what would be really good now? Oh, we can't teleport. Oh, can we teleport? I was hoping we'd be able to teleport up there. Yeah, so let's just exit here then. I can't remember exactly where the Mac Mordain Cadal is. Oh, between... Oh, in Skald. Right, okay, so what... Oh, right, okay. Well, we can... what's this then? A book. Dorcas Treatise. Right, okay. Well, to be honest, I don't think we need that. Not now. Well, look, we've got this. How many bloody emeralds have they given us? So where is it then? Is it in there? Right. 1, 2, and right. Okay, so we can sell those off at some point. And presumably, well, yeah, I suppose we might as well use this book. And yeah, let's see where we have to go.